I have missed you guys. I am so happy to be back with you. I mean, I'm not going to lie. would rather be with y'all in Kauai. And, it's not vacation if it lasts forever, then it's just regular life. So I did miss you guys. I just want to give a shout out and thank you to Troy, to Kathy Beck, to Justin, and to Crystal, and then of course to Madeline for hosting and speaking last week on Huddles. I heard it was awesome, and I have no doubt that you guys had an amazing week. So it looks like, true to form, it is spring break. So I went to my 5:30 Orange Theory class this morning, and it is a full class almost always with a waiting list at 24. That's a full capacity. There were 6 of us this morning. And I thought, I bet Huddle is going to be low today as well. Half the Metroplex is on spring break this week. And then PISD has a random holiday today to make spring break a little longer. It's really weird. But anyways, so thank you to all of you for jumping on. And we are going to dive this week into our favorite book of real estate, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And we're not going to necessarily go through it chapter by chapter by chapter. And I want to pull out some important concepts that I think behooves us to really focus on. So the very beginning of the MREA, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, Gary Keller talks about modeling. And really what the power of this book is, and if you haven't read it, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to read it. You need to read it with a pen and a highlighter. I'm all for the audiobook, and there are models that are written out and you need to see them in front of you. So do the audiobook also. And I'm going to encourage you to actually read this one with pen and paper. Okay. And if you haven't read it in a while, I will also tell you that if you read it maybe at the beginning of your career, or it's been a couple years since you've dove back into this book, it's time for you to dust it off again, because these are the models that are tried and true, right? These are the things that successful agents, this entire book was interviews of the top agents, and it was the commonalities that all the top people did in their businesses to create businesses that net $1 million. Okay. And so the beginning, Gary talks about what the power of modeling is. And he said he didn't understand this concept at the very beginning. It took him a little while to understand the power of what modeling really is. And he actually had an aha moment reading a Tony Robbins book. And many of you have maybe read Unlimited Power at some point. It's that book has been around for a long time. But he gave 4 passages that stood out to him in that book about modeling. And I'm going to share those with you this morning. Okay, so passage number 1. Long ago, I realized that success leaves clues. The people who produce outstanding results do specific things to create those results. Success leaves clues, right? Understanding modeling is all about understanding that success leaves clues. And I'm going to challenge you this morning to become a student of the game. Now, what do I mean by that? Become a student of the game. Most of us are a student of our game, right? Meaning what we do. And have we become a student of the game? Meaning, do we understand the commonality of models and systems? Do we understand this book inside and out, right? That we can understand what the game of success in real estate is all about. So become a student of the game of real estate. Number 2. Actions are the source of all results. Okay, actions are the source of all results. This process of discovering exactly and specifically what people do to produce a specific result is called modeling. So focus on the action and the result will happen, right? A lot of times what we do is we look at the results in another agent's business and we say, I want that. I want to have those results. I want to have that GCI. I want to have that number of listings taken. I want to have those results with my database. I want to have those kinds of successes in my business. And what we look at are the results instead of hyper-focusing on the actions, because the actions are always the lead domino that create the results, right? So instead of focusing on the result, are we looking at the action? Number 3, to me, modeling is a pathway to excellence. The movers and shakers of this world are often professional modelers, people who have mastered the art of learning everything they can by following other people's experience rather than their own. So guys, experience is absolutely the greatest teacher. Would we agree with that? Here's the problem though, is it does not have to be our own experience. Okay, has anybody ever told your child, you should go out and experience heroin so that you know how bad it is for you and how it can ruin your life? No, I mean, that would be ridiculous, right? So is experience a great teacher? Does somebody then who does heroin understand how bad it is for their life? Right? Even if they can't get out of it, I think they probably understand that was probably not a great path I went down, right? So yeah, great teacher, not exactly the best way to experience that wisdom. Okay. So experience is absolutely the greatest teacher, and it does not have to be our experience. That's the beauty of community. That's the beauty of modeling, right? Is that we're able to learn through other people's experience. And by learning and modeling through them and their experience, we actually take that on and it becomes our own. Okay. Number 4, to model excellence, you should be a detective, an investigator, someone who asks a lot of questions and tracks down the clues to what produces excellence. Building from successes of others is one of the fundamental aspects of learning. So I want to challenge you today. Who are you going to ask a question to? Who are you going to look at? What model are you going to break down today? So I believe, guys, that there's 2 main reasons why we don't model. Okay. Number 1, ego. We think somehow it's cheating if we follow somebody else's path, right? We think, well, we're choosing the easy way. In order for me to get credit for my success, it needs to be my idea. It needs to be my invention. It needs to be how I do this, right? That's ego, all right? Ego is the most expensive line item on our P&L, right? Put ego aside, right? Success leaves clues. Learn to model others, honor what they've done, and adopt that as our own. And then the second thing is when we complicate things, and not following a model complicates things, right? Because when we understand that success is simple, now again, it's not easy. Modeling is not easy. It's simple though, right? Understanding that when we have 201 plus people in a database that we put on a smart plan and reach out to 4 times a year in a quarterly phone call, that we can net on average $125,000 a year, that is a simple model. Am I telling you it's easy? No, if it was easy, everybody would do it, and it's simple, right? So if we're not putting the most fundamental models in place, it creates an excuse for us to overcomplicate things, which gives us an excuse for inaction, or it gives us an excuse for failure. That kind of hurts a little bit, but here's the reality. No excuses, right? Success is simple, not easy. Follow the models, learn the models, become a student of the game. And that will create massive, massive success for all of us.